I doubt it. Come on.
You don't think so?
I doubt
You're
it.
raining on our parade, Willard.
Well,
LeBron and AD to the Warriors?
Am I raining on the parade?
Yeah, you said, I doubt it. It's not going to happen.
Or did Brian Windhorse rain on the parade on the Rich Eisen Show earlier today?
The people in the league that I'm talking to today are giving me the side eye.
Okay.
And they're going, this is going to end up with Draymond Green getting a new contract in Golden State, LeBron getting a new contract in Los Angeles, and Anthony Davis getting a new contract in Washington. And again, I will just say that's all possible. But we just saw last week, okay, as you know, Rich, I am in enormous actions over words. I don't care about words. I only really care about actions.
Yes.
Last week, the Lakers were offering Austin Reeves this amount of money. He wasn't happy. Okay, thought he might have to go elsewhere. The Lakers were concerned that the Pistons were going to offer over the top.
Okay.
And they dramatically increased their offer. Austin Reeves couldn't even believe it. Passes out on the golf course, right? So we just saw last week the actions of the Lakers seeing another offer out there for one of their players and then increasing their offer, okay?
Yes.
We just saw last week the Wizards giving Trae Young $200 million in a contract extension. And if I'm Anthony Davis, I'm saying, well, if they're going to give Trae Young a contract extension, why wouldn't they give me a contract extension? Okay? So I'm not saying I know, but part of this could be creating leverage for AD and LeBron in both Washington and LA, and then everybody gets paid on a contract. Or they could all end up in Golden State. I'm not sure which is going to be.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not raining on the parade because it could happen.
That thought did also cross my mind before I even heard, I heard Wendy.
Which one sounds more viable to you?
Which
one sounds more viable
as someone
to you?
who never thought LeBron was going to come to the Warriors, that scenario that Wendy pointed out on the Rich Eisen Show seems, fair. And I think since the Draymond news happened, which I woke up to and was shocked about, the other things that we've heard since then, I think, don't necessarily confirm it, but are also crumbs leading towards the path where those three guys return to their current teams. LeBron is now willing to talk to the Lakers. He was not before. And Anthony Davis, Rich Paul apparently has again made contact with the Wizards now about Anthony Davis.
There are three things in this whole idea that has come up today. And actually, it kind of came up Kevin O'Connor was the first to float this out there last night with Yahoo, and he was on the roast earlier today. It was a fascinating conversation.
Yep.
But this got floated last night, and I saw it, and my first reaction was, no way in hell. And then it's today that Shams and...
Well, the big thing was the Draymond opting out.
Draymond opts out,
and
right.
Is he going to say no to $28 million? Guaranteed.
And Shams and Wendy start talking about it as well, but I'm glad Wendy spoke about it in this way because that feels way more viable to me. And there are three things. The idea of LeBron James and Anthony Davis coming to the Warriors together. There are three things that would all become reality that I have a hard time believing.
Okay.
I can be wrong. I have been many times, but...
We both sat here last week and said, no way Draymond opts out. So we both were wrong on that.
Well, no, it was no way Draymond opts out unless there's a move to be made.
And we both felt pretty confident that there wasn't going to be a move to be made. Right. So we both thought he was going to opt in.
But here are the three things that I can't seem to wrap my head around with the idea of this entire thing coming together. All right. Number one, which is the Warriors committing millions and millions and millions of dollars to a very brittle mid-30s Anthony Davis years into the future beyond Steph Curry's contract. I have a hard time believing that the Warriors want to do that. That's number one. Number two, the Warriors, after everything they've done, said, both behind the scenes and in front of our eyes, dump Jimmy Butler to Washington at a time with a torn ACL. Have a hard time believing that that's reality. And number three, LeBron James plays basketball for $15 million a year, tucks himself into the Warriors, where he will be the fourth highest paid player on the team?
Yeah.
Hard time believing it. So those are my big three of, sure, you're allowed to, and maybe those will happen, but color me shocked, and very much I'll believe it when I see it. Those are my three things.
The other part of it is, and it's related to the Anthony Davis part, which is, do they want to give that guy gigantic money for years into the future and likely years post Steph Curry? The other part of it is, do the Wizards even want to trade Anthony Davis where the main money on the way back is Jimmy Butler?
Wouldn't think so.
Like, the Wizards are at a point where they might not be a very good team next year, but they're trying to compete next year. They're not tanking anymore. They're done with the tank.
$200-some-odd million to Trae Young would suggest they're not still feeling rebuild mode. I know they just got the number one pick in the draft.
Yeah, they have Debonsa.
And Debonsa will grow with what's going on, and
some other quality younger pieces that they've gotten the last few years from tanking.
This is
go time for them.
Absolutely.
So are they going to... you don't know how many games Anthony Davis is going to play, but are they comfortable? And maybe there's another piece involved. Maybe it's pods, like who knows what it would be. But are they going to say the main piece we're getting back to help our team in this moment is going to be out until February at the earliest?
Yeah, you'd have to sweeten the pot significantly.
And do the Warriors want to sweeten the pot to the tune of multiple first-round picks?
Or Lendeborg.
And maybe a first-round pick.
Maybe.
Like,
and that doesn't. It just.
I don't think the Warriors want to do that, and I don't think the Wizards would do it for less.
Yeah,
so that's the roadblock, even before it gets to the point of, do the Warriors want to extend Anthony Davis?
Right.
And I don't think the Lakers would ever feel comfortable letting LeBron walk to go to the Warriors, because they know, they know what's going on.
Of course
the Lakers do.
Of course they do.
I know there's been other rumors recently about, well, maybe he goes back to Miami. And maybe there's a reunion in Cleveland. It does seem like it's Lakers or Warriors. I don't think the Lakers would be very happy if they let LeBron walk and he's a Warrior next year either.
I don't think they'd love it, but I do think the Lakers are dealing with what is a very difficult road to walk, which is LeBron James is the biggest person in the room at all times, has been since he entered the league. Mm-hmm. However, they see themselves now as Luca's team. And so that's what they're navigating, which is prickly, and it's why it may have led down this road. All the rumors we hear of LeBron's relationship with the Lakers being strained. It took them more than half a season to get LeBron to kind of buy in to being a little bit of an offensive third wheel, if you will.
And it worked.
It worked.
Basketball-wise.
It worked basketball-wise, and then he was asked to shoot back to being the one when Luca and Austin Reeves both got hurt.
And they won a series.
But that's the kind of thing that where, like, I can buy that there were some feelings around that. Mm-hmm. But the Lakers remain in that spot. And now Austin Reeves also becomes a $46 million player next to Luca. And so what is the commitment? What's the number? And what is the massaging of ego that the Lakers are even able to do with LeBron James? Because it feels to me, like one thing I said, is LeBron going to be the fourth highest paid on the Warriors? Well, he'd be the third highest Laker for sure.
True.
No matter what, that number is not, I don't believe that number is going to be north of 46.
No.
For LeBron. Well, I don't think it can be.
Is Reeves 46? It might be like 42, but still, whatever. It's way up there.
The first year. 46 and a quarter average for 4 years.
Yeah.
So, but yes, for the first year, it might be a little bit less.
I think it would be easier to say I'm the third highest paid Laker when the guys ahead of me are Luca Doncic and Austin Reeves than the fourth highest paid Warrior when the guys ahead of me are Steph. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But then Draymond and Anthony Davis. Like, that would be more offensive to me as LeBron than being paid less than Luca and Austin Reeves.
Right, but if it represents, some sort of a bleep you to the team that I wanted to sign with that's not doing what I want them to do, then sometimes people are willing to, change their morals.
Oh, that happens all the time.
Right?
You see a certain dollar sign and it convinces you of a whole lot. You break up with
someone, you find the quickest date you can. So parade around the front of their house with them.
There definitely was some prickly nature between LeBron and the Lakers this year. Sure. Absolutely, there was. I never got the sense, though, that he was actively trying to leave. I don't think it ever got to that point. No.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And so as a result, I think LeBron is trying to, while maybe money at this point is less important to him than it has been at other times in his career, it also is a symbol of status more than just what the money does for his life, because he's obviously set for life. But this just feels like a move where he's trying to squeeze the Lakers for as much as he possibly can. Still knowing that he'll be the third highest paid Laker, but give the Lakers a little kick in the backside saying, hey, give me what I want, what you realistically can offer me. Otherwise, I will fly up north and I will play for your rival alongside Steph.
Yeah, how many times since I started doing this, I've seen something that makes me think, oh, that person's not going to put money first.
How many times?
No, like all the time. But do you know how many times?
They actually don't?
Actually that.
Never.
Almost never. Like the money almost always wins.
Jalen Brunson took less with the Knicks.
Jalen Brunson did great, but we didn't even know that was coming. Like he just did that. But when he
signed the extension a couple years ago for way less.
I know. But my point is we didn't know there was a controversy or a showdown or a negotiation. Like he just did that. Remember, it just landed. It's like Jalen Brunson signed an extension. It's not like there had been big discussion about here comes an extension and should he take less or should he not. Often we'll see these opportunities for somebody to put others first, or I've made enough in my life or whatever. And it very rarely plays out that way. So this concept that I feel like has come up a lot on this station lately, which is LeBron and Steph have arrived at a moment in their life where they don't care about money anymore. They don't need it. Right. Do you know how many people in this world don't need more money?
But fight for every last penny?
If Bezos was sitting here, wouldn't you be like, we're going to do something for the people now? Does he? Does he do something for the people? Does Elon do something for the people? So I don't know. I don't know these guys. But I think it's just very rare that when we say, hey, time to take less and build something cool. I probably not. Probably not. And so that's why I believe much more likely than not that these three players will all stay with their teams. They're all going to get new contracts with their current teams. That'd be my bet.
So where does that leave the Warriors?
It leaves them with some money to play with this year, and we'll see what they go do with it.
Is it money worth playing with?
I don't think it's preventative of anything.
Because,
it can make them better. I don't think it can make them great.
Can we run down this road? It seemed, maybe you disagree, but it seemed to me like the only reason the Warriors would be willing to give Draymond an added-on year for more total money than this one season, but less AAV, right? Less per year, was if they felt like that savings allowed them to bring somebody in that was worthwhile.
Yes.
And that somebody was likely LeBron.
LeBron's choice one.
And maybe not many other options beyond that, but LeBron was definitely choice one. Why do you think the Warriors wouldn't be willing to offer Draymond the second year now if there wasn't anybody else out there? Like, why? What? Because you're saying they have no problem with having Draymond back for a second year anyway. The only point in them doing it now is to save money for this year. So is the only reason why they wouldn't be willing to do that to just get as much of the money off the books this season so you're as free next year?
Maybe there are.
But if you're bringing Draymond back for another year anyway, does it even matter?
Maybe there are other players out there who they feel are quote unquote worthwhile. Not nearly as sexy, not nearly as big. You brought these names up the other week.
Anthony Simons and Colin Sexton. Are those the names?
Let's say it's Anthony Simons.
Okay.
You went for LeBron. He Rich Paul'd you.
Scoring guard, no defense. Anthony Simons. That worth $15 million or close to $15 million to you?
Put the ball in the bucket when Steph is hurt.
Yeah.
When Jimmy Butler's hurt, you put the ball in the bucket. You know what I mean? He's coming off of a 4-year, $100 million deal.
Yeah, from the Blazers, who were very desperate at the time.
Yeah, but, he's also, let's see, how old is Anthony? I was
going to say 26, something like that.
This is still a young player. Yeah, he's 27 years old.
Yeah.
So, I'm just trying to get, like we all are, trying to get my head into the Warriors' thinking, which is Draymond opts out. We think that the possibilities of LeBron are there. We're willing to go down that road, even if we lose. Like, that's your responsibility if you're the Warriors, right? We got to know. You don't need to know that you're going to win, but you got to be okay if you lose.
And the losing here is not getting LeBron and AD. Is
no
what you're
different than the amount of money you take in your pocket to a casino to sit down at a blackjack table.
Only show up with what you're comfortable to lose.
Show up with what you're willing to lose.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go down this road. LeBron stays in L.A. Anthony Davis stays in Washington. If we're the Warriors, are we okay? What did it cost you? Well, you're going to have Draymond for 2 years instead of 1. And I think the Warriors are like, all right, we can deal with that. We want Draymond on this team. Well, now you have this money to spend this year, too. Is there anybody that you would like to get? Well, I have no idea if the Colin Sextons and the Anthony Simons of the world are, A, interesting to them, and B, how many years are they going to command? Can I get them on a 2-year deal? Or does it need to be a 5 or a 4-year deal? Because I don't think the Warriors would be interested in a 4-year deal or a 5-year deal. But if that's plan B and C and D, is to get players like that you feel are young and helpful and can play those back-to-backs and could be your leading scorer on a night when Steph's out or whatever, if that's the fallback position and you can get Anthony Simons for 2 years and $30 million, the full mid-level. Mm-hmm. Is that the end of the world? If I'm the Warriors, my answer to that would be no. I know that this fan base will think that that's you got played and you got egg on your face and all that, but I don't think that's really true. I don't think that they would look at it that way. So if that's the risk, if that's the it didn't work out scenario, is that so bad?
I mean, it's not terrible because you're not losing a ton that you would have had if you went down a different road. I guess maybe one potential source of missing out on something is, and you probably you communicate all this with Porzingis, but while this is playing out, what if Porzingis negotiates elsewhere and agrees and signs?
I mean, Porzingis,
you wouldn't be able to get him back, but it's not like that's going to ruin your season either. I mean, we're talking about a season that likely is going to peak at what? Like, I don't know, the 5th best team in the West, like peak? Like, it's impossible to determine the way that it goes, but it's not like you're dealing with a situation where if you fall down one path, you're one of the favorites to win it all, and the other, you're going to be a 10 seed. Like, it's not like that. But there is... I just was operating under the assumption that they don't want to give Draymond a second year, or at least they don't want to right now. And I felt they were pretty strongly going down that road. And I'm trying to figure out why. And now they're okay with it. I guess the other thing that we're assuming is that they're acting in tandem, Draymond and the Warriors. Or the Warriors are okay with Draymond opting out.
I think they are. Draymond's been working out over at the facility, okay?
He's been in France more recently.
But he and Al Horford and whatnot, they've been over there at the facility working out. I firmly believe that the Warriors, I could be wrong, I'm not reporting this, but I believe the Warriors and Draymond are doing just fine and well aware of what everybody wants and what they're doing and all of those things. I do not think Draymond Green will be on another team next year.
I don't think so either.
So there's that.
Why was Draymond opting out such a shock to everybody?
I don't think it was a shock to them. I doubt it was a shock to them.
Why was everything they were saying about it like, no, like it's Draymond's decision?
Because it's Draymond's decision.
We're not giving you a second contract or a second year right now. Like, go ahead.
I don't know. See, like, I don't know that the Warriors...
they didn't say that quote word for word.
That. Like, we attach that meaning to it.
I mean, we could go back and find the sound when Mike Dunleavy was asked about it as recently as 2 weeks ago, and then also when Steve Kerr came back. And, again, I don't know the exact words off the top of my head, but it was essentially something about... It was about Porzingis and Draymond. We want both those guys back. For Draymond, the ball's in his court.
Yep.
Which is essentially we're not negotiating. We're not talking right now. It's up to him.
But that doesn't mean like the whole 2-year thing was contingent on other stuff. I didn't find it to be a contentious matter.
But what you're talking about is they they were probably going to bring Draymond back for another year anyway. So if they're bringing Draymond back for another year anyway, then why was there even this drama about is he going to opt in or opt out? Just do what you did with Al and give him the second year now.
Because I have no idea what that number is. And there's no way to even know what that number is, but you're willing to put a number on it if it means something else. Right? Like all this, like I think we are the ones who made this contentious. You have said a number of times the last few days, feels like the Warriors are playing hardball with Draymond.
Yeah, I thought so.
I've never thought that. Warriors aren't playing hardball with Draymond. They're just like, that's not at the front of our priority list right now. If you want to pick up your option, pick up your option. If we've got a reason to discuss something different, let us know. Then Rich Paul calls, and here we go. And when did that call happen? I don't know. I don't know.
But the
probably
point of
sometime since the last time I spoke to you.
The point of the Draymond thing changing has nothing to do with Draymond, which I think is the point. That it's so much less about Draymond and who he is and him as a player, as opposed to what his contract or what his contract number allows the Warriors to do.
Right, but I think that that makes it sound like Draymond Green and the Golden State Warriors are two completely mutually exclusive entities. And while they are, I don't believe they operate that way. I don't believe they ever have in his entire career.
Like, for example,
they are in communication and working together and on good terms. And do they frustrate each other sometimes? Yes.
Did you hear what Mike Dunleavy said last week when they introduced Yaxel Lindeborg to the media?
What did he say?
Yaxel was asked about if he'd been in contact with Steph or any of the players, and he said, yeah, I texted Steph. He got back to me. I texted Draymond too, but he didn't respond yet. And then Mike Dunleavy butted in and said he doesn't respond to me either.
Yeah. Oh, he's free. He's not under contract.
Well, at that point, he hadn't opted out yet.
Yeah, but he also hadn't opted in.
And you're right. But I don't know. It just, to me, it's felt like the Warriors are looking for a potential out of the Draymond Green business maybe earlier than Draymond was comfortable with. That's what it felt like to me. Felt like Draymond wanted 2 more years at least with the Warriors right now, but he wanted it to get done, and the Warriors were like, Draymond, slow down. Like, no, we're not ready for that yet.
Yeah,
and maybe that doesn't qualify as hardball, but it felt like the Warriors were forcing Draymond into an uncomfortable decision.
It felt like that. But
to me, it felt like
I don't know if it was that.
Yeah.